Hi, today let's look into a new concept of genetic disorders or genetic diseases. Disease, what does that mean? Disease means not in ease. It means there is some difficulty inside us. We are not at ease. So this disease or disorder, when it is genetic disorder, means it is something related to our genes. You see, diseases can be of different types. Some may be physical, some may be mental, isn't it? Some may be due to microorganisms like the COVID-19 case that we all are hearing now. Or some diseases may be inborn errors. And we often think that inborn errors are not curable. But it's not so. There are researches going on in this area, and there are inborn errors which can be cured. Okay, so for that, different branch of biotechnology is there called as genetic engineering, which is actually looking into these kinds of curing the genetic disorders. Anyway, in today's class, let's focus our attention on what are these genetic disorders, what is the cause behind these disorders, what are the different types of it, what are the features of it, and so forth. Okay, so first let us see what is the cause of genetic disorder. We know genetics or gene is there in our DNA. That is, our DNA is the carrier of genes. Our DNA is our genetic material. So if there is any change that is happening in the DNA, such changes will cause disorders, and such disorders are grouped under genetic disorders. So genetic disorders occur due to changes in DNA. What does this change in DNA means? I hope you might have learnt in standard 11 regarding the structure of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. That is our genetic material, and it is having base pairs, adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine. These are the base pairs, and there is an arrangement of these base pairs in our DNA. When the arrangement of these base pairs changes all on a sudden, we say change has occurred in the DNA. And such changes that occurs in the DNA is given a term, and that term is mutation. So mutation means changes in DNA. What is the change in DNA that is happening? It is the change in the base pairs, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. These are the base pairs present in DNA, and these are arranged in specific patterns. When their arrangement changes, we say change has occurred in DNA, or we say mutation has taken place. And when there is a mutation that is happening, or change in DNA that is happening, and if that change is reflected upon our phenotype, that is our external appearance, or in any kind of our behavior, we say the mutation of DNA has given birth to a disorder, and that disorder, since it is there with DNA, we call it as genetic disorder. So simply speaking, genetic disorders are caused due to changes in DNA, that is arrangement of base pairs. Now why it happens? Why there are changes in DNA that is happening? There are many reasons. Most important reason is environmental factors. Some may be due to our habits like smoking, alcohol consumption, things like that. Or some environmental factors like exposure to UV radiations or some other radioactive elements like that. So there are many reasons for that. That we'll deal in a different session when I'll be explaining to you regarding mutation as a topic. So now let us understand Mutation is changes in DNA, and due to this changes in DNA, there are some disorders that occurs, and those disorders are called as genetic disorders. So that is happening in our DNA. So we know that every character in our body is controlled by a gene. Where are these genes located? These genes are located on DNA. So if there happens changes in the DNA, there will happen change in the genes, and as such there will be a different character shown. Or if there is a different character shown, there is a disorder shown, that is a genetic disorder. Okay, so characters are controlled by genes, and where are these genes located? Genes are located on DNA, and where is this DNA actually present? This DNA is present on chromosomes. So if there happens changes in the chromosome or DNA or genes, we say it is a genetic disorder. So genetic disorder can be with genes, can be with DNA as a whole, or with chromosome. What is the difference between genes and DNA here? DNA, the whole set of DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, there are certain regions of DNA which will produce a protein, or which will express itself, which is functional. Those regions of DNA which are functional are called as genes. So if these functional units are actually getting changed, that will be reflected in our character, and that will lead to genetic disorder. But those regions of DNA which is not coding for anything, if that is getting altered, it may or may not be reflected in our character. So our genetic disorder will not be evident. Okay, so there are characters that are controlled by genes, and genes are located on DNA, and DNA is located on the chromosome. Sometimes what will happen is, we know chromosome number in human beings is 46. In the last video I had explained to you regarding chromosomes, the number of chromosomes, regarding sex chromosomes, and regarding autosomes, their numbers and those things. If you haven't gone through those things, please subscribe the channel so that you can understand in detail regarding the chromosome, their numbers, their behavior and all. Okay, coming back. So here chromosomes are 46 in number. Sometimes what will happen is there will happen changes in chromosome itself, or chromosome number itself. So if changes are happening regarding the number of chromosome or any part of the chromosome, that will affect the DNA, that will affect the gene, and that will lead to genetic disorder. So all these three are linked. So genetic disorders can be due to changes in genes, changes in DNA, or changes in the whole chromosome itself. Anyway, it is all linked with changes, and those changes are called as mutations. Okay. Now, are all genetic disorders inheritable? If our parents are having a genetic disorder, is it necessary that we will also get the same? For example, we used to say, my parents are having diabetes, so there's a chance that I'll also get it. Or my parents are having heart disease, so there's a chance that I will also get it. There's a chance, this kind of things we always say. So whether it will be inherited or not, we are not sure of. Please take it the point that all genetic disorders are not inheritable. There is a set of genetic disorders which are inherited, and those genetic disorders are basically linked with genes. It may be a single gene, 2 genes, 3 genes, it may differ. So genetic disorders which are caused due to dysfunctioning or any change in a particular gene, those disorders, there's a chance that it is inherited. But those disorders which are considered with a chromosome number, it may or may not be inherited. Most cases it will not be inherited if the disorders are related to chromosome number. So there are genetic disorders where there is a chance of getting inherited, and there are genetic disorders where this chance is not there. So genetic disorders are of 2 types. The first thing that I've told you, it is related to genes and there's a chance that it is getting inherited. Such disorders are placed under Mendelian disorders. So genetic disorders concerned with genes and that is getting inherited, such disorders are placed under Mendelian disorders. And there is also a category of genetic disorder which is considered with our chromosomes, chromosome number actually, and this chromosome number, because of that, it may or may not be inherited. So that is chromosomal disorders. So genetic disorders are of two types, Mendelian disorders and chromosomal disorders. Let us understand the features of Mendelian disorders first. See, Mendelian disorders as such, there are three important features of Mendelian disorders. First thing, it is caused due to mutation in a single gene. As I've told you, first point here, gene. Gene mutations always lead to, single gene mutations always lead to a kind of disorder, genetic disorder, and that is categorized under Mendelian disorder. So first feature of Mendelian disorder is, it is due to mutation of single gene. Mutation of single gene. Okay. Now next one. See, the name itself you can understand, Mendelian disorders. That means it follows Mendel's principles of inheritance. We have learned the different principles of inheritance postulated by Gregor Mendel. Different laws, law of dominance, law of segregation, law of independent assortment and so forth. For all those laws and how it was framed, the experiments done by Mendel and all those things, it is there in the previous videos. It is there given as a series one after the other. It will be better that you subscribe the channel so that you can understand it like a story, and it will be impressed in your mind one after the other, so that you can clearly understand what genetic disorder is. Okay. So here it follows Mendel's principles of inheritance. So those principles are already explained. Third point, it can be traced in a family. See, I told you single gene mutation and it is passed on from parent to progeny, and its passing from parent to progeny can be traced, can be actually found out in a family. How? By pedigree analysis. Pedigree analysis. A special session will be dealt with regarding pedigree analysis. Okay, later on. Pedigree analysis. So, Mendelian disorder, first point, it is caused due to single gene mutation. Second, it follows Mendel's principles of inheritance. That is why the name Mendelian disorders. Third, it can be traced in a family. And the fourth feature is, these Mendelian disorders can be categorized into dominant form, recessive form or X-linked form. So each one, dominant, recessive and X-linked, will be explained with the help of each examples. Okay. So Mendelian disorders can be of dominant, recessive, sex-linked or autosomal. Okay. So here, see, dominant form. What do we understand by a dominant genetic disorder? In the previous videos we had learned regarding the terms dominant and recessive during the Mendelian principles of inheritance. There we had learned. Now here the term dominant is related to dominant genetic disorder. What does that mean? Dominant genetic disorder. See, dominant genetic disorder occurs when any one allele is altered. Allele, again it is coming here. Allele. Allele means what? That is already explained to you. Allele means different forms of a gene. So one gene codes for one character. This one gene can have different forms, and each of these forms of the gene are termed as alleles. For example, I told you gene coding for the character height can be of two forms. It will either code for a tall character or for a dwarf character when I had explained to you regarding Mendelian genetics. So here, for every gene, inside a human body, there are two alleles. If one allele is affected and if the person is getting the disease due to that, you call that kind of genetic disorders as dominant Mendelian genetic disorders. Once again, every gene has two alleles inside a human body or two forms. If at least one allele or one form of that gene is affected and because of that the disease is present in the human body, you call such diseases as dominant genetic disorders. So, if at least one allele is altered or affected and you get the disease, such genetic disorders are dominant genetic disorders, if at least one. But there are also some kind of genetic disorders which will not be evident if only one allele is affected. So such genetic disorders will be evident only if both the alleles are affected. With one getting affected, the other allele remaining normal, the normal one will compensate for the defective one. In that case, the person will look normal. So such genetic disorders in which both the alleles are affected and only then the person will get the disease, you call such genetic disorders as recessive genetic disorders. So recessive genetic disorders occur when both the alleles are altered or both the alleles are affected. So two types of Mendelian genetic disorders, dominant and recessive. Dominant when one allele is getting affected and because of that the person is getting the disease, and recessive only if both the alleles are affected and only then the person is getting the disease, it is recessive. Now here in the brackets I have written one parent, both the parents. What does that mean? So imagine in an individual, in a male individual or in a female individual, the individual is having an allele for a character and that allele for that character is present in the individual's body, that is part of a gene, and in that individual's body that one gene for showing for a character will have two alleles. Okay, so there is an individual and in that individual's body I am taking one particular gene, say gene 1. That gene 1 is having two alleles. During gamete formation, what happens? In that individual's body, the two alleles will enter into two separate gametes. And imagine, among these two alleles that has entered into two separate gametes, one allele is affected and the other allele is normal. Okay, this you take in the case of a male individual. Let us take one precise male individual. In a male individual is producing gametes and we have focused on one particular gene having two alleles and one allele is affected, another allele is normal. Now take a female individual and the female individual also the case is same. Female individual also we are taking considering the same gene. The gene is having two alleles. Among that one allele is affected and the other allele is normal. Okay. So they are producing gametes. Imagine if the gamete from the female individual having the normal allele is fusing with the male gamete with the normal allele, what will be the progeny? Normal. That is first case, that is normal allele fusing with normal allele from both the male and female gametes. Now second case, the female allele is normal, it is fusing with the male allele or male gamete having the abnormal allele. So female gamete is carrying the normal allele but it is going to fuse with the male gamete having abnormal allele. In that case, in the progeny for that gene, one allele is normal, another allele is abnormal. Okay. if the individual is getting the disease, then the disease is dominant because one allele is normal, another allele is abnormal. So one allele is only altered and the individual is getting the disease. So we say the individual is having a dominant genetic disorder. One allele is affected. So why that one allele is affected? Because one parent's gamete was affected. One parent's gamete had that defective allele. So if at least one parent's allele is defective and because of that one allele in that individual is defective and because of that the person is getting the disease, we say it is dominant genetic disorder. So in nutshell, dominant means at least if one allele is present as abnormal, that will show the disease, that will express itself. Even if the other one is normal, it is not having any effect. So the abnormal one will show its dominance and so we call it as dominant genetic disorder, and this happens if at least one parent is having that affected gamete. Now okay, take the third case. If the abnormal allele from the ovum or from the mother is going to fuse with the abnormal allele from the male parent. So both the sperm and the ovum, they are carrying abnormal alleles for the gene. So both the alleles are actually defective. In that case, if the person is getting the disease, only in that case, only if both the alleles are defective, the person is getting the disease, you call it as recessive genetic disorder. Now why that happened? Because both the parents' gametes that fused were defective. Okay, so if at least one parent's gamete is defective and because of that the disease is occurring, it is dominant. If both the parents' alleles or gametes are carrying defective alleles and because of their fusion the individual is getting the disease, it is called as recessive disorder. Now there can be a fourth case also. What is that? One parent is carrying normal gamete with normal alleles. Another parent is carrying gamete with abnormal alleles and the person is not getting any disease. Why? Because the normal allele is there dominant over the abnormal allele. The dominant allele is the normal allele is not allowing the abnormal allele to express itself. That case can also be there. So the person is normal. There is no disorder. There is no genetic disorder. So once again, there are actually 4 cases where 2 normal gametes fuse. Person is having no disorder. One normal gamete is fusing with another gamete carrying abnormal allele. But this normal allele is able to suppress the expression of the other one. So again there is no disorder. Third case, both the gametes fuse. Both of them are carrying abnormal alleles. So both the alleles are abnormal and because of that the disease is occurring. Both means it is recessive. Both are there, so recessive. Now if one allele is abnormal, and because of that the person is getting the disease, dominant. So I hope you have understood these 2 aspects, dominant and recessive genetic disorders. Now again the genetic disorders can be of 2 types, that is X-linked and autosomal. If you remember in the previous video, we had learned in detail regarding how this 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes in the human body are splitted up in the gametes. Among that 22 pairs are autosomes and there is 1 pair of sex chromosome. Okay. So it's sex chromosome, here I have put it as X-linked. It is related to sex-linked and the rest autosomal. So these genetic disorders that we have been learning can be either with any of those 22 pairs of autosomes. Any of those 22 pairs, chromosome 1, 2, 3 or any of those chromosomes can be affected, or it can be with our sex chromosomes, that is a X or Y chromosome. So based on whether it is related to the autosome or with the X or Y chromosome, again Mendelian disorders are of 2 types, X-linked disorders and autosomal disorders. And whether these X-linked disorders are caused due to one allele or both alleles, depending upon that, we can categorize them as X-linked disorders can be recessive or dominant. If both alleles are affected, X-linked recessive. If only one allele is affected, X-linked dominant. Similarly, autosomal disorder also, any of those autosomes if it is affected, it can be recessive or dominant. If both the alleles are affected, it is autosomal recessive. If only one allele is affected, it is autosomal dominant disorder. So accordingly, genetic disorders can be of different categories, and I have listed here some examples for that. X-linked recessive example is hemophilia, is the name of a disease. X-linked dominant, hypophosphatic rickets. Hypophosphatic rickets. Autosomal recessive, sickle cell anemia. Another example is phenylketonuria. Autosomal dominant disease example is myotonic dystrophy. Myotonic dystrophy. Among the diseases listed here, this particular disease, X-linked dominant, hypophosphatic rickets, is not there in your textbook to learn, but still I'll be explaining to you in nutshell what this is. And also myotonic dystrophy is just given as an example in your textbook. So this, but again I'll be explaining to you a little bit regarding this. Okay, but anyway, for this session, in this session we had just completed regarding what genetic disorders are. We also dealt with the different types of genetic disorders, that is chromosomal and Mendelian disorders. Among that we picked or we focused our attention into Mendelian disorders. And again the different types of Mendelian disorders, dominant, recessive, X-linked and autosomal. And examples I have given to you. But don't worry, all these examples will be dealt with one after the other in the coming videos. Thank you for now.